Hello everybody, welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft. We have a pretty weak pack to start, unfortunately. No fetch lands and no broken cards. I think I'm looking at Rafine's Tower and Watery Grave primarily. I actually think Mishra's Bauble is a reasonable card to take early as well. It's good with Ledger Shredder and just a lot of other stuff. I think I'm going to take the Rafine's Tower, but it's not an exciting first pick. In general, Triomes are a decent place to start because they are very flexible, but the power level isn't through the roof on this. Oh wow, this pack is much stronger. We see Fable of the Mirror Breaker and Reanimate. Fable is more generically powerful, but it also is not one of the colors that we can play off of Rafine's Tower. So I think I'm going to take Reanimate here. It's not a card that is good in every deck, but it is a lot more versatile than something like Exhume, because you can just play this in a control deck a lot of the times and just counter your opponent's thing and then bring it back. A little sad to be passing a Fable here, but I do think Reanimate is the correct pick. Worth noting that we've passed both Watery Grave and Underground Sea, so getting more blue-black fixing could be a little tough. We already have Rafine's Tower, but someone might move into this lane. We see a third pick Animate Dead here, so that's pretty excellent. Getting Reanimate and Animate Dead back-to-back. We can just move into this lane now. Potentially look at wheeling Vindicate. Could have also taken, Fable into Lightning Bolt, which is a good start for a red deck, but I'm pretty happy where we're at. We do want to, of course, find some top-tier things to bring back. We saw Vaultborn Tyrant in the last pack. That's an okay thing to reanimate. Not one of the top-tier ones, but it's pretty powerful. Atraxa is, of course, the one we're most looking for, followed by Archon of Cruelty and Griselbrand. There's a few options here. We could take Ziggurat Triome as more blue-black fixing, but I think I would rather take Charter Course. Very good enabler, put stuff into the graveyard for these, also just smooths our draws. And cards like this are nice in matchups where your opponent has graveyard hate. If they have something like Scavenging Ooze, then we can use this, just discard our Animate Dead, and dig towards our more sort of fair mid-rangey cards. Definitely a nice pickup. Not too much for us here. I think I'm actually going to take Reprieve. Yeah, Reprieve looks pretty solid. There's also Stern Scolding, but I'm kind of interested in going Esper when we already have the Rafine's Tower, and Reprieve is a good interactive card that's especially good in combo decks. Crobomination is kind of a reanimation target, but it's not that exciting. I think I'd rather take a Reprieve here. Okay. Probably just going to take Odawara now. Voidwalker is pretty solid, but I think Odawara is probably the better pick. There's also Blood Crypt. We could pivot and go towards Black-Red, but we've passed a lot of good red stuff already. I think I'm just going to take the Odawara. Arid Mesa looks pretty nice. There's also Lingering Souls. Ulamog does not play well with these two. It's good in some Reanimator decks, but probably not this one. I do actually really like Lingering Souls, but I think Arid Mesa is still the right pick. If we're going to try to go 3-color, we need to prioritize fixing pretty highly. Now we could take Leyline Binding. Let's take Liliana, actually. Yeah, definitely taking Liliana. It's a very nice way to discard these discard big creatures to bring back with these two, and it's also a powerful interactive card on its own. Leyline Binding could get there. It already is going to be a better Oblivion Ring, then it's likely to get even better if we pick up some other lands, but still going to take Lily. Shadowy Backstreet, Torsten, and Ledger Shredder all look really good here. Torsten is not at its best, though. It's a very good card in some Reanimator decks, but right now we have no creatures. It's not looking really like this kind of deck. Ledger Shredder can be a good discard enabler that also gives you a fair backup game plan. But we also don't have many 1-drops, which makes it worse. And Shadowy Backstreet's great. We already have one fetch land to find it. Surveil is especially good in decks that are trying to put cards into your graveyard. I think this is where we want to be. Alright, there's Vaultborn Tyrant, and there's Chrome Mox. Kind of an interesting pick. Chrome Mox can be really good in some builds, but I think I will take the Vaultborn Tyrant. Like I said before, it's not a super high priority, but it's like probably B tier, maybe top of C tier for reanimation targets, but it is still a solid one. We need a couple good cards like this. In the best build of this deck, we're not going to end up playing this because we get just better top end, but this is still, I think, a solid pickup here. And Chrome Mox is okay, but not amazing. Or at least not in this deck. It becomes better the more all-in you are. If you have like Entomb, Griselbrand, Reanimate, and you're trying to really do the thing on turn 2 or something, then Chrome Mox is great. But this is probably not going to be that. We're a little bit more of a fair mid-range deck that's also comboing. Now we can take a Vindicate. That's a nice late pickup. And this certainly could be an all-in Reanimator deck, or it could be just an Esper control deck that also plays a couple reanimation cards. Not really interested in any sort of pivot here. I'm just going to take Porcelain Legionnaire. Now I'll take Dark Petition, Squee. Actually, maybe I don't really think Dark Petition is that good just in general. And Squeak actually could be pretty sweet. I'm not necessarily going to play it, but if we get... Oh, last pick Lingering Souls is sweet. If we get a few more discard enablers, then we could play this. Like, it's very good with Liliana, pretty good with Charter Course. If we get more things along those lines, this could get there. Okay, well, there's a Mox Pearl. That is pretty amazing. There's also Shallow Grave, which is okay, but not as good. Also Through the Breach, even. But, yeah, definitely going to take the Mox Pearl. Phenomenal pickup. Maybe we could wheel a Consider. It's also possible we get nothing on this pack on the wheel, but still, very, very happy to get a Mox Pearl. I think now we just want to take a Verdant Catacombs. Nethergoyf would be pretty sweet. I think this would be a very good deck for this card. Wasteland is never going to be too bad. But Verdant Catacombs just helps a lot. It can surveil, it can get all three colors. Could also enable a potential splash if we see like Oko or something that we want to splash. Yeah, sorry Nethergoyf. Really hope this card comes around. I think it's super powerful, but I'm going to take the fetch land here. Now we see another fetch land. There's Triplicate Titan, which is not a very good Reanimator target, in my opinion. We're definitely not an Unearth deck. Ajani's powerful, but this isn't really the deck for it. So it's Silent Clearing, Shelldock Isle, and Prismatic Vista. I'm mostly looking at the lands. And actually, I think I might go for the Shelldock Isle here. We have pretty good fixing already with 3 Triomes. And this is really good if we are in on the reanimation plan, because you can put, you know, Vaultborn Tyrant or Grizzlebrand or some massive thing under this, and then you're trying to churn through your deck already with stuff like Charter Course. Yeah, I'll take the Shelldock Isle. Still looking for the elite reanimation targets. Alright, interesting pick here. Snuff-Out versus Shorikai. Snuff-Out is a very powerful interactive card. I think we probably should just take this. I love Shorikai in general, and I think it's especially good in this build where we want discard outlets, we want to be churning through our deck to turn on Shelldock Isle and all that stuff. But Snuff-Out is just such a premium interactive card, and we don't have that much removal right now. We have Vindicate, but a 0-mana instant speed kill spell is just so powerful. Maybe Shorikai wheels, probably not. We also could weirdly be a Field of the Dead deck potentially, but I'm going to take the Snuff-Out. This card is great. Now it's probably just a Serum Visions. Deathrite Shaman is a tempting consideration. We do have a couple fetch lands. So this would be pretty strong. There's also Corpse Dance, actually. That just doesn't look that good here, though. This is the kind of card you only want if you're all in on the reanimation plan, and right now it doesn't seem like we're going to be that way. I think I'd rather just have some good card selection. Yeah, I'm going to take the cantrip here. Primeval Titan, that could be an interesting direction to go. Try to reanimate Primeval Titan and wheel Field of the Dead, but I don't think that's correct. I'm more interested in just taking either Darkslick Shores or Sheoldred's Edict here. And our fixing looks pretty good. Let's take the Edict. This is a really strong interactive card. Ooh, Grave Titan. Okay, so Seagram Coast and Fabled Passage both look really good here. So does Brainstorm, actually. But Grave Titan's perfect. This is a good thing to reanimate quickly that's also fairly hard castable. This is, like, I would rather take a Traxxa than Grave Titan, but this is one of the better top-end pieces that we could find. Okay, nice. Collective Brutality, Kaito, and Dict Your Time all look really good. I think Kaito is probably our best bet. It definitely plays the best in terms of like a more mid-range game plan. I do want to have some ways to use the graveyard, because I think we'll fill the graveyard quickly. So this would be good. Treasure Cruise would be good. Maybe we can wheel Nethergoyf, but Kaito looks pretty good. It also does put the Squee back on the table. With Kaito and Liliana, we have multiple ways to turn Squee into value. Ooh, okay. Shallow Grave and Consider. Interesting. I think I'm actually going to take the Shallow Grave here. It's the higher upside pick. Consider is consistent, just powerful, will be good no matter what. But if we're seeing this go so late, that makes me cautiously optimistic that we might be able to find the better reanimation cards like Archon of Cruelty. So I'll go for the high upside pick. Oh, nice. Nethergoyf came around. Huge wheel. So we wheeled the Shallow Grave. That makes me cautiously optimistic about wheeling Corpse Dance. And if we do that, then we'll have 4 powerful, cheap ways to reanimate, as well as a few discard enablers. And then at that point, really all we need to pull this deck together is 1 or 2 more good pieces of top end. Not much for us here. I don't think Bolas's Citadel is ever going to make the cut. I'm going to take Tamiyo, I think. In case we end up splashing green. Tamiyo would be pretty nice. It digs through our deck and sets up our reanimation stuff. The Dragon is a pretty weak but acceptable reanimation target in some matchups. Alright, I'll take Field of the Dead. Not going to play it in the main deck unless we wheel Primeval Titan. But it definitely could be a sideboard card against really slow decks. I can't really imagine ever playing any of these cards. Take the land. Okay, I think... So the Corpse Ends did not come around. That's fine. Last pick, Shadowgrange Archfiend is interesting. That's actually a card we probably will try to play. Yeah, this card looks pretty nice, actually. Very good with Liliana and Kaito. And just, like, an okay thing to reanimate as well. Not a stunning start to pack 3, but not terrible either. I'm primarily looking at Inquisition of Kozilek versus Malcolm. Malcolm is a really good enabler that lets you discard cards, but Inquisition is powerful interaction, and I do kind of want some more 1-drops here. Yeah, I think Inquisition is better. There's also a chance we can wheel one of the blue cards because there's 3 pretty good blue cards here. Yeah, I'll take the Inquisition. Come on, Atraxa. Probably Man... Oh, wait, no, let's take Exhume. Yeah, let's take Exhume. Mana Leak would be nice as well, but I like taking a 4th reanimation card. This is a very good one, especially if we do, like... This is better the more all-in on reanimation stuff we are. Wow. A lot of really strong stuff here. Ragavan and Fury are some of the best red cards ever. We have Hull Breacher and Time Twister as really powerful stuff. There's also Ulamog, which is not my favorite reanimation target. It's really good in some matchups, but it's very weak to just, like, a bounce spell. And we could take Bloodstained Mire. I think Mire is better than Lorien Revealed here. I do like Lorien Revealed a lot, but Bloodstained Mire can get our Surveil land. And I think I'm just going to take this. Yeah. Fetch lands are great. Now we see Frantic Search versus Cut Down. There's also Souls of the Lost, but that seems a little bit worse here. I think I'll take the Frantic Search. Cut Down would be a nice removal spell. If it wheels, I'll be happy, but this is good with a reanimation plan and also just helps us to churn through our deck and find our key cards. Troll. Wow, okay. So a lot of fixing here. Both of these lands would be really nice. There's also Miscalculation and Chromatic Star, but I'm going to take the Troll. This is a very good card here because it is fixing. It can find either of these 2 lands, but it's also just a really good thing to reanimate. We have 3 ways to put that into play permanently on turn 2. So just turn 1 Troll, turn 2 Exhume can win a lot of games. Yeah, seems really nice. We're running out of chances to find the elite reanimation targets. Don't love that, but I will take a Hallowed Fountain here. Solid pickup. We're definitely base black, but we have a few white cards. Having an extra fetchable land here does help. I think it's between Infernal Grasp and Daze here. How's our removal suite looking? I guess it is kind of lacking, especially surprising given there were a base black-white, which has a lot of removal, but I think we probably do want to take the removal spell here. Yeah, I'll take this. Bummer. This is our last chance to find a really good reanimation target, so we're going to have to stick with these 3 now. I'll take a Concealed Courtyard, though. That's nice. Ulamog would be a pretty solid wheel. Wow, Parallax Wave Wheel. I don't think that's really this deck's game plan, though. I think Malcolm is actually a little bit better here. Tashawn Sidebinder is solid, too, but this just churning through the deck is so important. And even more so now that we don't have Entomb, we don't have, like, ways to search up and put these things into the graveyard. Interesting. Okay, I'll take a Timeless Dragon. Similar deal to Troll of Khazad-dûm. Just a way to fix for our mana early that also gives us a nice body in the late game. So with Troll and Timeless Dragon, I think we could afford to go to 16 lands. So we could just run the deck like this if the draft were to end now. If we get some more good cards, we will have to make some cuts. I think Shallow Grave is not going to make the cut in the final build. It's not very good with a lot of things, including this. So this only gets the copy when it dies, but Shallow Grave exiles it. So I think Shallow Grave is just not going to be good enough here. It can be good with Grave Titan, but it's not that exciting. Nice. Ulamog is a pretty solid pickup. I will take that. Might not play it in the main deck, but at the very least, it's a good sideboard card. Worth noting, Shifting Woodland would be really good here too, but I will take the Ulamog. I don't think Souls of the Lost is very good, so I'll take Tidal Scholar. Or it's not good in this deck, at least. So yeah, now I think this would be how we would want to run it. What's on the chopping block? Maybe Frantic Search. Nice. Colonnade is a very good late pickup. Super late season Pyromancer. Weird to see that still going around, but it's alright. We do have this Field of the Dead. Do we want to play it? It's a little dicey with the mana for sure. But with that being said, we actually do have a decent number of colorless pips. I wish we could go in on Bazaar, but I don't think we're that heavy on it. So, but actually, we'll probably try to play Mana Tithe. Let's not play the Field of the Dead. So we need one cut here. Probably is just going to be Frantic Search. That's more of an all-in combo card. We're not looking that all-in on comboing. We also don't have a ton of card advantage to offset that card disadvantage. And we have plenty of other discard outlets. Ooh, Smirking Spelljacker is interesting. I'm probably not going to play it in the main deck, but I like it a lot in certain matchups. Alright, so do we just run it like this? I think this seems correct. Yeah, so we'll build the mana base. I think it should be a pretty good mana base, though, because we have such solid fixing. Mostly black, blue and white are fairly even. So we'll start with this and see how it looks for the last land. This gives us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black, plus the 2 cyclers. Kind of just want another black here. Then for white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's totally fine. Honestly, we could go down, but I like having 1 basic plains. And for blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. Yeah, seems pretty good. So we're playing Esper Reanimator. We're not all in on Reanimator. We're not playing cards that do nothing except combo. But we have a lot of powerful, cheap interactions, some cheap threats like Malcolm, Nethergoyf, Tidal Scholar, backed up with interaction, and then this pretty solid combo game plan. I think that the Troll and Timeless Dragon will be a big part of our reanimation plan, where there'll be a lot of games we just win by putting a 6/5 into play on turn 2 and backing it up with a bunch of removal spells. And, you know, like maybe even best case scenario is like turn 1 land Inquisition, turn 2 cycle Troll, reanimate. You take out their removal spell, you have them on a quick clock, probably a 3-turn clock. So that is the hope. Squee is close. I don't think it quite gets there. Yeah, with just Kaito and Liliana as very powerful things with it, it's probably not quite there. But it is close and it's fun to think about. We'll run it like this, and I'll see you in round 1. We're on the play for round 1 against I Like Dolphins, and we have a good hand. I'll definitely be keeping. Lots of graveyard value here. Question is, do we want to get Rafine's Tower for our second blue source, or just get the Surveil land? I think I'm fine getting a Surveil land here. Don't really need double blue. Ooh, okay. I'll keep that. I think it's better to play that than to cycle Timeless Dragon here. They do get to see our Malcolm, which is a little annoying, but not really. Alright, and I turn Malcolm. If they want to counter this, that's fine. Untap, swing. Just don't want to see Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, I'll discard. I mean, we could just go for it here. No, against the start, I think it's pretty likely that they have a counterspell. I'm just going to play Lingering Souls. The next one we can double spell. Basalt Monolith, okay. So let's start by hitting. Then we can decide. I think it's maybe better to just bring back Vaultborn Tyrant, actually. I like that it draws a card among other things. And yeah, I'll flashback this back. If they have a board sweeper, it's kind of bad. I don't think that's super likely though. And this puts a ton of pressure on them to deal with the board immediately. Fractured Identity would be kind of bad. Hopefully they don't have that. But this goes way over the top of most things they could be playing here. Worst case scenario would be, I guess, Plains then Sunfall. Or, well, there's scenarios where we just lose here. But the worst realistic case scenario would be that. Because it would exile this, we wouldn't get the copy. We could rebuild fairly well with this hand, though. Forensic Agitator. Well, that's bad. That gives them infinite mana. Yeah, I mean, that's quite bad. If they have Walking Ballista, we lose. If they have Retrofitter Foundry, we lose. There's a lot of stuff that wins the game when you have infinite mana. I don't think there's anything we could have done against this. I'll bring in Smirking Spelljacker for sure. No other cards on the board look that good, unfortunately. Okay, they play the One Ring. That gives them 2 more card draw. So they're playing some sort of Bant Artifacts deck. What I want is to see them crack the clue, because that means they don't already have the thing they need to win. Okay, they play Time Spiral with infinite mana. Unfortunately, we don't find a kill spell here. So even if they really brick on this Time Spiral, it's not necessarily like they might be able to have another turn. We had a pretty good draw too on the play. Like, I mean, yeah, we had a good draw, but the infinite mana combo is tough. Forensic Agitator is very strong. Opponent is still making mana over there. Apparently 20 is not enough. What's their big payoff here? Upheaval with infinite mana. Do we want to concede to that? Honestly, no. Like, there's a good chance we could just lose here, but we do have, like, we can Shelldock Isle. Potentially hit something good out for that. They don't have an actual way to win the game yet. They can replay the One Ring. They have Soul Ring too. Jeez. All right. I'll just yeah. I mean, let them continue doing their thing for a little bit. But again, I don't think it's. Oh, okay. I'll concede to that. All right. So pretty strong turn 4 from the opponent. Let's see if we. Yeah. I mean, we don't really have anything to do against that. Except bring in these 2 cards potentially. This seems worse than Ulamog. Ulamog, like, 1 attack trigger could really mess them up here. I like Snuff Out. I like having instant speed interaction. Sorcerer Speed's quite a bit worse, but I'm still going to play Vindicate for sure. I guess we actually have a decent number of ways to kill their thing at instant speed. The Spelljacker is certainly a card that we want. Maybe we just don't play the Ulamog, actually. Yeah, I think I like this plan. And then on the play, or on the draw for game 3, we can consider bringing in Ulamog over the 16th land. All right, on the play, let's go. I like this hand quite a bit. We have discard, we have removal, and we have counter magic. So interaction in multiple forms, plus a relatively quick clock. We can start hitting for 2. On turn 3. Fast Bond. Jeez. Opponent's really got some stuff over there. I think we got to get this Tidehollow Scholar into play. Although, actually, I'm not sure. I don't think I have an untapped white source to get with this. Yeah, that's pretty awkward. So, we have to let them have a turn here. This feels like the turn of the game. If they can't do something really bad here, I think we're in a good spot. 4 mana for Urza, that's fine. Let's Infernal Grasp the Urza. I'm going to choose to hold the Sheoldred's Edict. I think they should both be able to get the job done. But this can also deal with the Planeswalker. Okay, I like being able to put that in the graveyard. Now they're going to hitting for 4 here on turn 3. That's pretty nice. Shorikai. That's bad. That's definitely bad. Okay, so we'll hit for 4. They go for the chump block. Interesting. I think we only have... Okay, we have Hallowed Fountain. I think we'll just get the Plains, though. And then I want to get Lingering Souls out because I definitely want to pressure them as much as possible. Then the question is, do we hold up Reprieve or go for the Sculler? I think I'm going to play Sculler first. It just adds more to the board, and we can save Reprieve for a later turn. Let's take their balance and pass. So Shorikai can make chump blockers and draw a ton of cards. Definitely a little scary. Discarding Echo of Eons. Interesting. We'll see if they want to just flash that back. They choose not to. Definitely want to hold up Reprieve. I think I want to play Preordain or Serum Visions. Among other things, it does grow our Nethergoyf. Liliana, interesting. I don't want the Malcolm. I think I'll keep Animate Dead. Snuff this out just to push damage aggressively. Then attack them for 8. Yeah, this resolved. I guess that does mean that we only get to hit them for 4. But either way, we have lethal next turn. We can pass with Reprieve up. And I'm expecting them to go for Upheaval, which Reprieve should win the game against. Kind of funny that we have 2 white counterspells and no blue counterspells. Alright, nice. We take down game 2. Game 3 on the draw will be tough, and their deck is broken. I mean, they have Mox Ruby plus Soul Ring, Fast Bond, so tons of ways to get off to a really quick start. Yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup for sure. Do we want to make any changes on the draw? I don't think so. Could bring in the Frantic Search just to be a little bit faster. I don't care as much about card advantage in this sort of matchup, although there's not really anything from the main deck that I want to cut. Yeah, I'm just going to run it back. I guess we could cut a Swamp for a Frantic Search on the draw, but let's just play it like this. Okay. I can work with this. We can hold up Mana Tithe on turn 1 and then cycle Troll and hopefully put the Troll into play on turn 2. I think I'm just going to get a Hallowed Fountain here with the Arid Mesa. And then Troll of Khazad-dûm can just get a basic Swamp. Honestly, I'm gonna Mana Tide this. It does mean we can't troll next turn, but I think taking them off of mana is super relevant. Okay, good draw. And then do we want to go for Animate Dead or hold up instant speed plays next turn? Ooh. I think I'm just going to take this out, actually. Yeah. Hit for 3. Pass turn. Then I would love to find a land for next turn. Basalt Monolith, so they would have had infinite mana. We brick on the land, so we have to decide if we want to hold up Reprieve / Malcolm or reanimate something. I think I am going to hold up Reprieve / Malcolm. If I didn't have the Malcolm, it would be one thing, but they have a ton of mana. Okay, they don't make a play, so we just stick this. We get to hit for 5. The thing is, it barely even speeds up our clock at this point. I think I'll discard Exhume, which does grow our thing. Or even Liliana. No, I'll discard the Exhume. Then we'll play Island, Animate Dead the Troll, and pass with Reprieve up. We could have also discarded Grave Titan, but I like that this... well, actually, I guess either way, the Netherglyph would be the same power and toughness, so it doesn't really matter. But I never want to Exhume when they have this in the graveyard. Back-to-back games where they go for the Upheaval and we have the Reprieve. And they concede. Wow. All right, crazy match there. They played Upheaval in all 3 games. In game 1, it resolved and we lost. Games 2 and 3, we had the Reprieve and we won. So we take down round 1. Pretty solid start. I'll see you in round 2. We're on the draw for round 2, but with a very good hand. We have to decide between holding up Reprieve on turn 1 and playing Liliana on turn 2. I love that we have the Liliana plus the Shadowgrange Archfiend, so I think I'm leaning towards just trying to get that going as soon as possible. Okay, well, we drew a land, so it doesn't actually matter. Let's lead on. So if we play, the only blue source we can get with Bloodstained Mire is tapped. So if we want to have Chart a Course available, we need to... We can't have Reprieve up on turn 1. I think I'm just going to be okay with this anyways, though. I'm going to... Like, if we desperately need to Reprieve, we can just fetch a basic Swamp, and that's fine. And then we'll likely just end up discarding the Chart a Course to Liliana at some point. Or, if they don't play something we need to counter, we can pretty safely just fetch our Triome here. Playing against Temur. Okay, I think I'm still going to hold up Reprieve, actually. Maybe not. No, let's get Liliana going. Pressure the resources. I don't think they're playing black. I'm going to discard Serum Visions. I think the other cards are a little bit better here. And now Liliana holds down the fort on any Planeswalkers they play. This is a big turn. If they pass and we get to hold up Reprieve, I like our spot a lot. Okay, I'm just going to discard the Swamp and hold off for now on playing anything else. And we can try to ultimate Liliana, protecting it with Reprieve. Discarding Brain Freeze, interesting. That seems like a good pickup. So this might not be a matchup where we really need the Shadowgrange Archfiend. Four mana for Minsc and Boo. Well, I'm going to Reprieve that, but I don't love it. Ooh, interesting. I'm just going to cast the Shadowgrange Archfiend here, I think. Although the problem is, like, it just creature, doesn't hit Planeswalkers. And it doesn't really attack that well into Minsc and Boo. But I guess it does protect our Liliana ultimate. So we probably should just go for it. So let's go plus, discard this. Cast it. Paying 8 life, and we're not going to gain any life back, but I think that's probably not too important. And then we'll see. If they play Minsc and Boo and plus to attack Liliana, I might just trade with a Shadowgrange Archfiend. We have a few options. We could just let Liliana take the hit for 4, then attack the Minsc and Boo to kill it, lose our own Liliana to take out their 4/4, and just have an 8/4 in play plus Colonnade. The other option would be to block and then go for Liliana ultimate, but then the problem is the Minsc and Boo is still in play. We could make them sacrifice everything except Minsc and Boo. I think I'm inclined to just let them hit my Liliana here. Yeah, let's just let this go through. If I knew I was drawing a land so I could Colonnade down the Minsc and Boo, that would be one thing, but we don't. Okay, so let's start by attacking Minsc and Boo. Then I'm going to play Chart a Course, draw 2. Interesting. So do we let them keep the 4/4? Yeah, let's just put Grave Titan into play. We also get to continue pressuring their resources. I'm afraid of Underworld Breach. That's really the only thing that wrecks us here. And I think I am going to cycle the Troll here for land. We could try to get up to hardcasting it, but when we have Colonnade in play, we have a use for a bunch of lands. So we're at 5. We die to Fiery Confluence. We die to Underworld Breach. Actually, maybe we don't die to Breach. But we also have tons of board presence, and we can close out the game pretty quickly. Not really afraid of Fable. So we could ultimate or minus Liliana to take out one of their tokens. I think I'm going to start by attacking with everything. Do we want to animate Colonnade? So, well, the most aggressive line is minus this. They sack their Goblin Shaman, swing all out. They probably trade with this and take 14, going down to 6. Alternatively, we can keep on attacking their hand. That's probably better, actually. So I'm going to go to combat, swing with everything. And I'm going to go for the souls instead of the Colonnade here. I'm expecting them to block here, and then here, take 8. Okay, so now we have to decide between taking a card out of their hand or denying them a mana. And I think if they kept the Goblin Shaman, it looks like they really want the land, so I'm just going to take out their Goblin. And now it's kind of now or never. We should be able to kill them next turn with a Colonnade. So are they able to combo kill me here? Unfortunately, our 1 Eldrazi does not beat Brain Freeze. It's Ulamog, which does not shuffle back in. This is probably another matchup where we want Smirking Spelljacker. I think that'll likely be the only change we make. Maybe cutting a bit of removal. So even if they remove our Grave Titan, we still have far more than lethal. If they were to play like, I mean, we still die to Fiery Confluence. If they have something like Delayed Blast Fireball, they could kill all these things, but we could animate Colonnade and still have lethal. So I really think we're going to be able to win unless they kill us right now. Ooh. Opponent's deep in thought about what to discard here. I would be very surprised if they don't discard 2 cards because there's so few things that get them out of this position. Either they just have what they need already and they have the win, or we have no cards, so our hand is face up. Either they just have the win already, or they don't, in which case they certainly need to discard 2 cards. Alright, after a lot of consideration, they discard Bring to Light plus Mishra's Research Desk. If they were to find Breach, they could play Breach, then play Brain Freeze to mill 6 and try to dig for LED or Black Lotus. Just cycling Catcher of Triumph, though, is not a sign of strength, and sure enough, we get them. So, looks like they're playing Storm, but also have like just good red cards with Minsc and Boo and Fable. So I don't want to cut all my removal and die to those things, but I also don't want to overdo it on the removal. The Spelljacker does seem pretty good. Although maybe just everything is good. I'm not sure. I definitely don't want to cut Sheoldred's Edict. Infernal Grasp and Snuff Out seem fine as well. Definitely want Vindicate. I might cut this guy again. He was good there. Maybe it's still good. Paying 8 life is a lot. Maybe we just don't play the Spelljacker then. This is good insulation against comboing, but it's also so expensive, 5 mana. But we're on the draw. You know what? I'm going to add a 5-drop and cut a land. Seems a little risky, I know, but I'm counting. We have 2 Land Cyclers plus Mox Pearl, so it's 18 mana sources on the draw. We also have a really low curve. I think this is fine. Okay, solid hand. I'll definitely keep. I think we're just going to lead on Kaito. I wish I had an untapped Swamp, so I could play turn 1 Nethergoyf, turn 2 Kaito, and start drawing immediately. Okay, we don't have many white sources left in the deck. We have 2 planes left. I guess we can't fetch a planes, though, and play Kaito. So this turn we're just going to go Island, Mox Pearl, Kaito. Yeah, if they have a counter, they have a counter. It's not great, but I think it's still correct. The other option would be to play Nethergoyf. But if they have a counter on this, that's a fine exchange. Yeah, I'm not too worried about this. We have plenty of other action. And getting a Planeswalker into the graveyard will be good for the Nethergoyf. Cryptic Code. Okay, not too worried about that. I'm going to play Chart a Course. I was planning on saving this to try to get card advantage, but now that we have Grave Titan, okay, yeah, that's perfect. So we discard the Grave Titan and just put it into play. Weirdly, we actually only have 1 black source. So Timeless Dragon, we might want to get our... this is, like, I guess the key turn of the game, because we have the Spelljacker up next turn. They play Brainstorm. If we get to untap with Grave Titan in play and Smirking Spelljacker up, then the game's over. And I've never cast this card, but that would be a pretty fun way to secure match 2. This card's pretty sweet with Ephemerate. Kind of weird that it doesn't let you exile your own spells. Okay, so they're going to Elk our Grave Titan. Not ideal. Actually, that is pretty bad. We're still ahead, I think, but not by as much as I would like. Okay, so we're going to send everything at Oko. Sure, so if this happens, we will put the Oko to 1. Then I'm going to play this and hold up the Spelljacker. Could also play Timeless Dragon, of course, but I think it makes sense to hold up the Spelljacker because we're ahead on board here. If they Elk the Cryptic Coat, and pass without doing anything, it is kind of annoying. They play Dak Faden though, so I will cast the Spelljacker. They can Elk the Code if they want to. Don't really care either way. They do. Reanimate. Interesting draw. So we have a bunch of choices. We could send... We definitely want to kill the Oko, so we're sending this there. We could send Grave Titan and Zombie at their face. They'll probably just eat the zombie and we hit them for 2. We could also send just Grave Titan at their face. I think that's probably the line. So I'll go at Oko, at you. Cast the Dak. Oh wait, I guess we didn't need to attack with the Grave Titan then because we can just discard the Vaultborn Tyrant. Although they don't... Alright, well, I guess we got in for the damage. It doesn't matter either way. Let's loot. Okay, definitely discarding this. Then I think I'll discard Shadowy Backstreet. And just hold Timeless Dragon to hardcast. In fact, we just want to hardcast it here. Could also hold, like, discard, yeah, let's just discard this. Then we'll go crack this. Reanimate the Vaultborn Tyrant. Down to 11. Ooh. Okay, that is interesting. I was definitely planning on playing Timeless Dragon. I probably still should. Inquisition is nice interaction. If I could play Nethergoyf plus Inquisition, that would be one thing, but we can't because we don't have enough mana. So I think I'm just going to get the 5/5 into play and just try to close out this game. Seems pretty hard for them to kill us from this position. Oh. I thought this was power 6 or greater. I didn't realize it was power 4 or greater. Nice. But yeah, it seems pretty hard for them to kill us here. If I hadn't seen the Brain Freeze, I would think it's borderline impossible because our life total is high. I mean, they sweep a board, we get a Vaultborn Tyrant token, and we can make another Timeless Dragon. If they... Upheaval's gone, we played that in the first matchup, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it is just some crazy Brain Freeze sequence. Okay. Definitely a sign of desperation. Exiling 2 lands. We don't have lethal yet. If we attack with everything, they can block... I guess it's actually close to lethal. They could block here, take 11, 12, 13. On board, we put them to 2. Snuff out, that makes it lethal. Let's stack to dig for... I guess it seems very, very hard for us to lose from this position, but we'll discard the 2 lands. Then play Inquisition of Kozilek. Then we have Reprieve and Snuff out, so I really can't imagine the way they fight through all this. This deck is sweet. Too bad we never got to play Nethergoyf because I do love that card. You know what? I'm going to cast Nethergoyf because I want to trigger Vaultborn Tyrant again off of our 1-drop. They can't start scolding it because it's a beefy boy. And we take down match 2. Pretty solid. It's funny that we played against back-to-back combo decks. Smirking Spelljacker has looked good in both. I guess the first deck wasn't fully a combo deck, but definitely been a league where Smirking Spelljacker is good. We got the caster there, and I don't want to say it fully won us the game because probably just reanimating Grave Titan and then reanimating Vaultborn Tyrant is what won us the game. But still, very solid start. We're 2-0. I'll see you in the finals. Here we go. It's the finals against Goyo 315. Unfortunately, we are on the draw. We rolled a 5, which is not bad, but not quite good enough. All right, we could definitely work with this. Library of Alexandria. This hand's pretty good against Library. I'm going to lead on Shelldock. Would love to put a Grave Titan under this. Instant Speed Vindicate we'll have to do. So I hope they're not playing Counter Magic or Discard. If they're playing Library in an aggressive deck, we can just dominate them with these huge creatures. But if they just like Thoughtseize us, it could get a little hairy. Okay, nice draw. So I'm going to shock here because we're using our mana this turn no matter what. We can reprieve if we need to, but I would really like to get this Malcolm into play. Reprieve very good against the Library draw. Please just put a counter on this thing. Generous Plunderer. Okay. I'm just going to go for Shadow Grange. Well, maybe we just want to put Vaultborn Tyrant into play this turn. Either way, I'm definitely going to cast Malcolm. The perks of putting Vaultborn Tyrant into play is that we can then draw another card off the top. Wow, okay. We have all of our big creatures. This is kind of insane. Okay, I'm going to discard this to start. And then put it into play. Okay, not a bad one. And now, if we're playing against a black and red deck, this should be pretty good. This is generally good against, like very good against black and red removal, very bad against blue and white removal, and then green just doesn't have removal. So, should be quite nice here, even if they kill it. They play Gut, okay, they're going to be able to hit us with a couple things with Menace, but I think we can race this. So we take 6, but this is fine. So let's start by going to combat and hitting. We're probably just going to be exhuming here. I think I'd rather discard Grave Titan and then exhume it than do anything else. So we'll go to combat, swing with both. It's really bad, actually, if they... Well, no, I was going to say if they kill the Malcolm, but we can just stop that with a reprieve. So hit for 7, loot. Then cast Exhume. This will bring back the Grave Titan. We get a couple triggers here. Hey, what's up, Nelly? So make some dudes, gain life, draw a card. Snuff Out's not a bad draw. Let's play this. And then I think I'm just going to pass. No need to play Lingering Souls or anything. We got some bodies to block. Yeah, let's just hold a reprieve. This tapped, and then we'll pass. So we do want to make sure we don't die to anything weird here. We have an insanely solid board presence. Oh, they just concede. All right, sweet. All right, Generous Plunderer, making a treasure token here. So If they just go to combat and send everything... Basically, I'm just deciding if Snuff Out will save us damage or not. If it is, which I think it is, then we probably should have just done it earlier to take out this Generous Plunderer. We have 3 blockers, so we can only block one thing with Menace. If we and this, I guess the Generous Plunderer only hits us for 4 also, though. Or it hits us for 5, because they're giving us a treasure token here. So yeah, I should have done this before they were able to make a treasure token. If we snuff this out before they go to attacks, they get to swing. They hit us with 1 menace creature. We double block the other, so I think we would only be taking 4 from that, plus 4 from the snuff out, so that puts us down to 7. And then we have reprieve up. Seems fine. I think it'd be hard for them to kill us from 7 without us having reprieve. Without, it's possible they could double burn us. And it still is possible, of course. This is a very strange delay. They don't have a choice here. So we're playing against black-red aggro. Should be a pretty good matchup. Our threats, like our reanimation targets, line up well against theirs, and we have some solid removal spells, although we don't have any board sweepers. Definitely not a Smirking Spelljacker matchup. I'm probably not going to be making any sideboard changes, although we could play Stitcher Supplier. The Supplier can dump our reanimation targets in the graveyard. They can also put Lingering Souls into the graveyard or Timeless Dragon, while being potentially a good blocker, although not really against any of these cards. Alright, at long last, my opponent has decided to give me the treasure token that they had to give me. It's turn 5, and they've used 10 minutes, so hopefully for their sake it's a quick game 2. I think I'm just going to crack this treasure token. Okay, yeah, definitely. Oh, wait, that's scary. I'm going to reprieve it. Then they're going to recast it. And at the beginning of combat, we snuff out. They're definitely going to kill this. That puts us down to 11. Then we're going to get hit by... We're going to block, take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we go to 2 here. Yeah, we take 4, 8. I think they can actually put us to 1 even. Close game. But it does look like we're going to be able to pull it out here. Just barely. So block, block, block. Oh, wait, no, we take... Okay. Take 6. Oh, they sacked their Evolved Sleeper. So we died a Bolt. We do die if they have Lightning Bolt as their last card, or Chain Lightning. Please don't have it. Unearth, bring back the Bombardiers. Okay, that doesn't do it. Because this creature is not attacked. I'm almost positive that they can't do it. Okay, yeah. I respect that they had to try it. Okay, so very close game 1. They got us down to 3. It's possible we were supposed to leave back the Vaultborn Tyrant. Not positive, but it would give us an additional way to block a Menace creature. But we're able to take it down in a close game. Do we want to make any changes? Paying 8 life for this is a real liability in this matchup. It gains us some of the life back, but it still might be a little much. Anything that pays a lot of life is risky, and we do actually have a lot of life loss stuff, but I think we kind of need to play it. I will still play this. It's a good thing to exhume or animate dead as well. Yeah, let's still play it. I think I'm just going to run it back. I don't really want to play this. This is fine, but not that exciting. Yeah, we'll just submit. up a game in the finals. Our opponent took like half their time in game one, but their deck is fast and our deck is fast, so I don't think that's likely to matter. You really should not be running out of time when the game is ending on turn 5. Okay, I can work with this. Just going to play the Nethergoy. If they can kill it, if they have a cheap removal spell, that's okay. We don't have a blue source yet, but we can find it. Oh, well, now we do. Inti. Alright, let's lead on Inquisition. Then we might end up reanimating something they play. Oh, no, okay. So let's take their Necromancy. That's scary against our reanimation deck. If they want to bolt my Nethergoy, if that's okay. Hopefully we flip something expensive that they cannot cast. Carnage Interpreter. Interesting. I wonder if they'll go for that. We're going to play the Backstreet. Surveil. Would love to put... Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Lingering Souls into the yard. Pass turn. So they can cast this if they want to. That seems unwise, but maybe they go for it. They'd get some Inti value for sure. They exile an Urborg, alright. Take 3. So now they can decide between casting a Carnage Interpreter or not. And they do. Interesting. Alright. So, we have a few lines. One is to reanimate Rampaging Raptor and flashback Lingering Souls. I think I like that plan. The other is just to wait, like play... yeah, I think we want to do that. Rampaging Raptor gives us just decent blocks, which we desperately want. Then the question becomes, do we play Otawara or hold it to potentially channel? I think there is a world where we channel it. So, I'll play Swamp. Reanimate. Could also reanimate our own Timeless Dragon, of course, but this way we get to get Lingering Souls down, which helps against just blocking their menace creatures. And maybe we were supposed to play Otawara because now we can't play Kaito necessarily. Interesting attack. They have no cards in hand. They exile just a land. So I think we do want to take this Inti off the board. Then I'll just take 5. Going to 8's a little bit risky. I think it's okay though. Well, kind of an awkward spot. We have a few options. One is play Otawara, play Kaito. The question is really, do we want to save Otawara to channel? I don't think so, though. I think I'm just going to play Kaito this turn, play Timeless Dragon next turn. I'm just going to plus. I honestly want to discard a card here to grow the Nethergoyf. Oh, Orcish Bowmasters. Really? That was their last card? That's extremely frustrating. And pretty much game ending. Damn, yeah, that sucks. Reprieve is unplayable if they have Bowmasters in play. I mean, we're just dead pretty much. Yeah, that sucks that was their last. They had exactly 2 mana and 1 card that they just drawn blindly. Of course, we knew that they were going to have Orcish Bowmasters in their deck. They're in the finals. They're playing black. But still, it's pretty brutal for them to just rip it there. We're dead to almost anything in this spot. Down to 3. Do they have the Bolt? One Bolt's gone. Liliana. So we need to just get some bodies on the board. So not going to play Liliana yet. We'll make a 1/1. Then we're going to play Swamp and cast Timeless Dragon. So we have 3 blockers. On board, we can go double block this, eat one of these things, take 1 and survive. And then Liliana can start chipping through their resources. Of course, being at 3 against a red deck is pretty terrifying. I'm happy the Bolt's gone, but there's still a lot of stuff that would kill us. Broadside Bombardiers would kill us, Gut would kill us. Pyroglyph would also kill us. Alright, tough game there. The Bowmasters was really the fatal blow. Just mowing down our Souls tokens. Do we want to make any changes on the play for game 3? I don't think so. Malcolm is a lot worse now that I know they have Bowmasters. I think it's still worth playing though. Yeah, let's run it back. Then we'll just try like Inquisition or Mana Tide, their Bowmasters. Plan A though was just to do our thing and go over the top of. We didn't draw any of our Reanimate. I guess we did cast Reanimate, but we didn't get to put anything big into play that game. Okay, good hand, very disruptive. Okay, I think I'm going to take... Oh man, Unearth is actually really annoying here. I don't want to take a creature and just let them unearth it, so I actually think I will take the Unearth and then try to line up the Mana Tide with the Bowmasters. They can play their Kumano. Oh, they don't go for Kumano, okay. Then we can play Shadowy Backstreet digging for Island. There's an Island. I think I will keep a Arid Mesa here. And then the question is, do we want to Mana Tide their Generous Plunderer? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just going to Sheoldred's Edict it. So this can just get basic planes, honestly, if we need it. So cast this. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. I don't want to let them get the treasure token here. So hopefully they play the Kumano. Yep. And then I'm not going to crack this end of turn, because I don't want to give them a window to resolve their Bowmasters. Actually, I think they're F6 here, so I think we can just afford. There we go, nice. That's actually really clutch to be able to get that land out. So now let's Main phase cycle Timeless Dragon. Because I do want to keep hitting land drops. Although, no, we want to get Malcolm into play. Yeah, actually, it's really important to get Malcolm into play here with Grave Titan plus Exhume. Exhume is going to be awkward because I'm going to give them back something, but we're going to get something so much better that it is still a good exchange for us. The only way we get punished is if they have, is if they have Wheel of Fortune or something like that to make Bowmasters insane. So we're going to bring back our Grave Titan. They get back their Bowmasters. But then we just have Grave Titan in play. I guess they can just attack with the Rampaging Raptor and make it trade with the Bowmaster with the Grave Titan, which isn't great. Still seems okay though. And it goes without saying that if this Exhume was Anime Dead, we would be in a phenomenally better position. So they send just their Raptor. I will accept this trade. I mean, it's not great, but I don't think taking this damage is a winning line. It also forces them to use their mana here. So these trade, we go to 12. And in turn, I'll cycle this Timeless Dragon so that we can go make a 4/4 dragon with Reprieve up. Okay, Mox Pearl is not what I wanted to draw. Playing it is maybe worse against Kroxa, but I think better overall, especially because we're getting close to being able to just hardcast our big dude. Oh wait, we actually needed that to be able to have our Reprieve up, but yeah, now we do. Do we want to attack? I'll send one. We do want to close out the game. I don't want to give them infinite time, especially when they have 3 cards and we only have 1. I'm also going to be kind of judicious about what I Reprieve because I don't really want to let them grow their Orc army and hit me for 1, but if they play a 5-drop, I will. Yeah, okay. Well, honestly, I'm going to let this resolve. I'm fine trading this with Timeless Dragon. And if they attack with everything, I'll just take the hit with this and eat some of their other stuff. They can't really do that. Okay, I'm pretty happy to just take this out and wait a turn. The treasure token is irrelevant. They have as much mana as they need. I'm fine going to 8. Weird attack. I don't fully understand that. Now I do understand it, and Reprieve doesn't even help. I think I'm just going to do this to cycle, though, as awkward as it is. Okay, Vindicate, so we find an answer to the Goldspan Dragon. The board is pretty stable. It's basically even, but the problem is they have 2 cards in hand. We will top deck another card. Oh, wait. Okay. They have 1 card in hand, yeah. Untap. Tidal Sculler. All right. Well, we'll see what their last card is. So I'll take the Inti, Vindicate the Dragon, and pass turn. Let's actually hit for 2. I'm happy with this trade, and I'm happy to hit them for 2 because they don't really have an attack back. All right. So kill this and pass, and we have a top deck war on our hands, which hard to say who that favors. I think it should favor us, but it's kind of close. Oh, interesting. Grave Titan actually got exiled because of the this ability. That's unfortunate. Ooh, okay, that's a pretty good first top deck. Really good, actually. We have the least life, so whenever attacks, if you have the most life, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Well, that was a pretty horrendous draw. I think as awkward as it is, I'm just going to bounce this Preacher of the Schism, but that's not a winning line. It's just, I mean, what else do we have? Not really much. If we double block, that just seems totally untenable. Well, this became a top deck battle, and so far we are losing for sure. That helps a lot. So let's reanimate Goldspan Dragon. Being a 3/4 is relevant, actually. That does make this worse. We hit for 3, make a treasure, which is relevant because now we can hardcast Vaultborn Tyrant if we draw it. So they can attack for 2, draw a card, going to 12. Well, that's bad. We're not dead on board, but we need to top deck something immediately. So we take 3. What do they exile? We need... Oh, wait, nice. Okay, they're 1 mana short of that. So, unless their last card's a land... We're just dead if they have a land and they can cast that. But we need to hope they don't have that. Nice. Pretty good draw. Can we afford to attack with the zombie token too? I don't think so. And if they attack and give this anti-trample, they would have 6 power here. So we'd have to block to survive. Oh wait, no, this Nethergoyf breaks them pretty hard. Okay, I think we can afford to attack with the Goldspan Dragon, but not the Nethergoyf. Or not the zombie token. Or, wait, actually maybe we send just zombie token? Well, if they attack with this, it can become a 4/6, which does survive our Nethergoyf hit. Is there any chance we just leave both back? It seems really weak, but if we attack with Goldspan Dragon, they can attack with this and make it a 4/6, so Nethergoyf can't block it profitably. And this has Death Touch. I mean, I could just double block, though. Yeah, I think we do need to be doing something. If we're just passing, we're going to lose. We're at 4. Like, they're drawing an extra card every turn. It's just like, this is probably a losing line, but it's definitely a losing line to not do it. So we cast this, and then if we assume they brick, we have okay blocks. We can keep on bringing this back for a while. We need them to brick, though. It's clutch that they hit the Pyrogoyf, because that would have been lethal immediately. They attack with everything. Interesting. So they put the counter on the Preacher of the Schism, presumably. We double block. Go to 1. Oh, wait. I did not realize how Trample and Death Touch work, and we die. Yeah, okay. So, in hindsight, was there anything we could have done? No, actually, we were just dead. At least on that last turn. There might have been something we could have done earlier. Maybe we're supposed to just leave back the Goldspan Dragon to block. It's unclear. Close match. Tough one to lose for sure. Our opponent's deck was strong. We were able to put Grave Titan into play, but the problem was we also had to give them their Bowmasters back, and that was able to kill our Malcolm, shut down our card draw, and just give them a lot of board presence. But definitely a pretty sweet league. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.